Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be back. I am back. I have been away for a while, and I'm happy to be back. It has been quite a journey, but it's all good because the love of my life of 27 years, my sweet husband, my guy, my man, told me years ago when I was really feeling stuck and disappointed and frustrated and just had nothing much left. He said to me, Ann, you'll win if you don't quit. And he was so right. It has been a challenging year. I have so many things I want to share with you on why I was away, and I will get to that hopefully in this episode. But for now, sis, Destiny is calling, and I'm gonna need you to pick up. Destiny is calling, and I'm gonna need you to pick up. That's what this is all about today. It's about getting acquainted with your destiny to the point to where you're willing to have that conversation with her. It's your future self I'm talking about. I had a conversation with my future self in my early 50s. No, my late 40s. My late 40s. I had a conversation with my future self, and we talked about some things, and she shared with me some things that she needed me to do. And I listened, and it's paying off. What am I saying to you? What are you saying to me, Angela? Your destiny is calling, and I want the truth of the matter, the truth to be told, and that is this. A lot of times when destiny is calling, it's very easy to just hit that snooze button. You know how like when you know you got to get up early and you set your alarm clock. Let's say, for instance, you know you're supposed to be getting up at 6 o'clock a.m. and you set your alarm clock for 5:30 because you intend on hitting that snooze button. The problem with that strategy is that, yes, you're going to hit the snooze button, but if you hit the snooze button too many times, you'll get real sleepy and you won't hit snooze anymore. You'll go into a deep sleep. And a lot of times in life, destiny is calling. And because we hit the snooze button too many times, we end up going in a deep sleep. I'm Angela Tezano, and I'm super excited that you are here. Welcome to the Little Oil Podcast. It's all about the little oil. So destiny is calling, and I want you to pick up, sis. And here's how we're going to get started. So I used to be a teacher. The picture you see on the left is me with my classroom. I loved being a teacher. I knew I would be a teacher since 3rd grade, and I didn't leave teaching 3 times. The 3rd time for real in 2023. I didn't leave it because I didn't love it. I leave it because my future self said, you gotta go. There's some things you need to do. The picture on the right is my last year teaching. Yes, ma'am, Miss Jamila. You cannot afford to hit the snooze button any longer. Let me just go ahead on and put that on the screen. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, so the picture on the right is me and this was my last year teaching. This is the year I knew it would be my last year. And at the beginning of the year, I motivated and inspired my students by telling them, I need you to earn 100 points. Long story short was, you earn 100 points for your behavior in the hallway. I will do something I've never done. And they voted on me eating sushi. Okay, so here's the deal with that. I don't eat raw food. I'm from Louisiana. We eat everything fried. Point is, they earned their 100 points, and this is me trying to eat sushi. It was an epic fail. The picture you see on the bottom right is my classroom. It was my community. And I think that I am so successful in building the community Cura Circle that I built for Boss Lady Creators is because I spent so much time building my classroom community for my career. I brought all of that rich knowledge and rich experiences to build my community for the Cura, for Boss Ladies, and it's called Cura circle. Fast forward from my teaching journey, God gave me what's called a little oil. And if you are familiar with scripture, 2 Kings 4 talks about a woman with a little bit of a need, a lot of bit of a need. And her husband left her in debt. He was in the ministry. How many broke saints do you know? Lord have mercy. Let's not even get started with that, because it is an unnecessary trial. But I'm here for you today, because your destiny is calling, sis. You gotta pick up so that you won't have any issues with your legacy wealth. It is for you. And today we're going to talk about how you're going to get it. So this woman in 2 Kings 4, she was literally out of money. So much so, her creditors came to her door knocking and said, I tell you what, if you can't pay your debt, you have one option, and that is to sell your sons into slavery. And she went to her husband's mentor and she said, look, dude, I'm in trouble. My husband left me in debt and they're coming for my kids. Her husband's mentor was Prophet Elijah. Long story short is, he said, what do you have in your house? She was like, Lord have mercy, this man want to ask me questions and I have to come in to get my children. I don't have time for questions. So I need a miracle. But what he asked her changed her life. And it's what I'm asking you today. What do you have in your house was his question. And she said, all I have is a little oil. Oh, it's going to be a good one today. It's going to be a good one today. He said, I tell you what, he said, I want you to get that little oil you had. Now notice, she only had a little oil. One jar of oil. He said, I want you to go and borrow some pots from your neighbors. She gets all the pots from her neighbors. Isn't it good to have a community? How many know you need a community to get you where you need to be? This is not a one and done Lone Ranger situation. You need a tribe. So she gets these jars. She goes back to Prophet Elijah and he says this. He says, I want you to pour your little oil into all these pots. Now, I know that I was a math teacher and I taught math, social studies, and science my last year of teaching. So I know a little bit about math. And if you know a little bit about math like me, how are you going to take one jar of a little oil and fill multiple jars up? But here's the thing, little is much when God is in it. So all you need is your little, a little bit of the recipe figured out, a little chapter of the book done, a little bit of followers that you have. Little is much when God is in it. So God gave me the little oil movement to help you take the little that you have and turn it into legacy wealth by making what you know and turning it into wealth. You're going to take your knowledge, friend, and you're going to turn it into wealth. And I'm going to show you how. In this episode, I really want to talk about the dream, the destiny that is literally waiting for you, and what you should do when that snooze button is hit. See, it's that snooze button, because see, we can get into, you know how whenever you're sleeping and you hear your alarm go off and you keep hitting the snooze button? Remember how I told you if you hit it long enough that you're going to go into a deep sleep and you won't hear it anymore? That is what happens in life. Your destiny keep calling. There's wealth for you. There's more for you. It can't be about all this job. It can't be about this drama with this relationship. I have more for you. It's calling. It keep calling. It keep calling. And if you hit that snooze button long enough, you'll fall into a deep sleep and you won't even hear it anymore. What does that look like in my real life, Angela? Well, I'm going to share with you. What it looks like is this. You can go through something so long that it becomes your normal. And the drama and the issues and the challenges, what happens is it becomes your normal. Here's what that looks like. You're strong. You were made strong. You were made to get through challenges. That's how you were built, woman of God. And so whenever challenges come through, or whenever challenges face you, what you do is your strength start building up. Here's the problem with that. Am I saying you should not be strong? No. But what happens is you build up a resistance to overcome the things in your life that you were not meant to overcome necessarily. And what happens is, because that strength muscle keeps building up, you just start overcoming stuff. Overcoming stuff and challenges in your life is not the same thing as accepting a call to your destiny. You just learn how to overcome stuff. And so because we are driven by accomplishment, because we are driven by overcoming challenges, we think that the continuous cycle of overcoming a challenge is our strength. Nah, sis, the call and answering the call to your destiny is your real strength. So what ends up happening is you overcome stuff so much, you avoid the destiny that is calling you because you're stuck overcoming the stuff you're dealing with in your present. And today I want to talk about how to answer the call. Get out of that rut of being always overcoming challenges, like always trying to meet budget. There's a destiny that doesn't require that. Always trying to get away from somebody who you know don't love you. There's a destiny that's calling that's better than that. You don't need to stay stuck in the situation you in and continue facing it over and over. I applaud you for continuing the battle, but sis, there is a victory on the other side, and that's what I want to get into today. The truth is, your destiny is calling you. And at some point, when it calls, it's not getting an answer. It's going to voicemail. It's going to voicemail. I want to put my sis Jamila's, I want to put this on the screen because you get it, sis. I know you get it because you're in the circle, the Kira circle, and you're crushing it over there. She is literally crushing it inside the Kira circle, building her creator business because she understands that you can't hit snooze any longer. Jamila was successful in banking. She was able to rise above all the drama that you face in corporate world because she's strong. But at some point she decided, I don't need to continue to fight this battle if destiny is calling me for more, if destiny is calling me for better. And that's what I want for you. I want you to answer the call. It's in voicemail, so you didn't lose it. Click the voicemail button, see what it has to say, and this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to move forward. And all it's going to take is a little oil. All right, so if you're missing out on your destiny, this is what I want you to do right now. I'm going to give you the wake-up call. I'm going to give you the future check-in that you need. And I want you to frame all this around my little is enough. You see, whenever we don't have everything we need, we look at all the tiny objects that are out there, and we look at, May Bell, who have $1 million followers, and you end up comparing yourself to her. I don't want you to look at anybody else in this episode. I want you to stay focused on what you have, who you know, and what your destiny is calling you to do. All right. I want to talk about, I want to stem from what I just talked about, and that is why your comfort zone is costing you. Remember how I talked about because we're fighters and we don't mind jabbing life whenever it's time? That is literally called a comfort zone. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron. How can a fight, Angela, be called a comfort zone? Because you can get used to fighting, even if some of the fights you don't win, the ones you do win, you can get a little addicted to that. And remember how I told you at the very beginning a few minutes ago that you don't want to get stuck in a rut of always fighting through stuff. There is a place in life where you are literally living off the residual of your joy. You're living off the residual of your legacy wealth. You're living off the residuals of your happy place because you're walking in your true destiny. What happens is we sometimes make our comfort zone our safe place or our safe space. Remember, because we're not necessarily failing in our comfort zone. We're fighting every step of the way. But that addiction to win the fight sometimes will cause you to miss out on what destiny is saying. Hey, you don't need to fight all the time. You don't have to be on defense all the time. There is an offense in life. And that is what I want to get you to today. So here's how I want you to know that if you're in your comfort zone and not walking in your destiny. You know you're in your comfort zone if everything feels familiar. Yes. Jamila says, make a decision to use the or. This sis right here. I got to put it on the screen because at some point we're going to have to end up becoming co-host, Jamila, because you're dropping dimes for the audience. She says, make a decision to use the oil you have. Here is how you know you are in a comfort zone and you're not answering the call of your destiny. Here's how you know. Everything feels familiar. Do you not know you can get into a place in your life where you just start expecting an argument with your spouse or your boss or your kids or your friends? They say hello and you're already ready to go because you're so used to it, right? If everything feels familiar all the time, you're in your safe space. Destiny is calling. It's on the phone. Answer the call. Right? You know you're in your safe space if everything feels familiar. You know you're in your safe space if it's easy to confuse peace and passivity. Lord have mercy. If it's easy to confuse peace and passivity, right? Are you truly walking in true peace or are you walking in passivity? You just let stuff go because you just don't really feel like fighting that day. Like one day you going in ready to jab, the other day you going in like I just want to just go ahead and let this day pass me by so that I can be ready for the next battle, for the next fight. There's more for you than that. There's more for you than that. Destiny is uncomfortable. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is nothing easy about the destiny that is calling you because it's going to cause you to come out of that comfort zone that you're in. But who wants easy? Who needs easy? I don't need easy if what's on the other side is going to give me joy and peace and long suffering and wealth and abundance. Look, you're fighting anyway. You're fighting where you are anyway. Fight for the destiny that's calling you. All right, so key point number one, your comfort zone is costing you your calling. Everything that I said is about understanding that your comfort zone is costing you and your destiny is continuing to say, hey, I'm over here. Come this way. There's a lot over here for you, abundance and wealth and pure joy and peace and charity. And sis, all right. Key point number one, your comfort zone is costing you your calling. So get out of that comfort zone and be willing to answer the call because your destiny is calling. Now, how do you stop ignoring your invitation? How do you stop? You know you're ignoring it because you're in your comfort zone. You know it's been calling. You know you heard it ring. You know you heard it ring. But what I want to talk about next is how you stop ignoring it. Let me just drop this dime on you. God don't force movement, but he will send you an invitation. God is all-knowing. He's all-seeing. He's omniscient. He's omnipresent. He knows all. He sees all. And yet he still will not make you do anything. He gives you a free will and choice. Let me ask you a question. I want you to think about this for a second. If God will give you a choice on where you want to spend eternity is it's infinite. It's infinity and beyond, like Buzz Lightyear said on the Toy Story. Infinity is your destiny, the infinite, eternal life is ongoing and it doesn't end. If God will give you a choice on where you spend your eternity, He's going to give you a choice on how you spend your life. He's not going to force you. So look at the patterns in your life. All right? Doors keep circling. What I mean by this is this. The opportunity, the invitation that God is giving you to walk into your destiny, it keeps circling back. It keeps circling back. How do I know, Angela? How do I recognize it? A lot of times it's clear when things get hard. Not hard in the life that you have accepted that you just keep fighting for. Why, I don't know. But hard in the things that you never thought you could do or never thought that was possible for you, when those things keep calling. What I mean by that is this. If an opportunity comes your way and it's something you cannot do or cannot do on your own, or don't have the money for, or don't have the bandwidth for, or don't have the confidence for, that's the one you want to answer. If you are able to continually fight something over and over again, and you good with that fight, that's called a comfort zone. Don't celebrate staying where you are and winning there. Take an opportunity to see all the things that are coming to you, that destiny opportunity that's coming to you, the things that you can't do, the fight that you can't win. Consider that one, because that is destiny calling. And how do you ignore it? You accept it. Whenever you have an opportunity to go and speak before a crowd of 1 million people, and you only spoke to a crowd of 1,000 to date, take the call. That's destiny calling. Whenever you get a call from a CEO and they want 1 million copies of your ebook and you haven't even finished the last chapter yet, take the call. That's destiny calling. In other words, anything that is outside of your comfort zone, have the faith and use the little oil you have to accept the call and get to move on it. In other words, stop ignoring the invitation. Do the thing that is very difficult for you to do. That's how you accept the call. That's how you stop ignoring the invitation when destiny is calling. Look for the things in your life that you feel deep in your core being that you're supposed to be doing. And then find the hard things that are attached to that and then just connect to one thing and commit to one of those things at a time. It don't have to be all at one time. But find the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing. Do you know you're supposed to be helping trafficked children? Do you know you're supposed to be helping women who don't have enough money to get out of the projects? Do you know you're supposed to be helping women lose weight because a doctor said if you don't lose weight, you're going to die in 6 months? Do you know you're supposed to be helping women who are stuck in a janitorial position but have the potential to be principal of the school? Do you know you're supposed to be helping someone who has been diagnosed with a disease and all they got to do is change their eating habits, who can't stop eating potato chips? Do you know you're supposed to be helping them? Find the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing. Find the thing that you know you're supposed to, your purpose. It's your purpose opportunity. Find that. And whatever that is, what I'm going to do is, because I know I'm supposed to help women of faith turn their idea and their knowledge into legacy wealth. I know I'm supposed to help you make an offer and present that offer and use that offer to make a lot of money. I know I'm supposed to be doing that. Find the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing and take a look at all the hard things that are attached to it. And then grab one of those things, one of those tasks, one of those objectives, one of those goals, and get to moving on that. That's how you stop ignoring destiny when it's calling. So let's do a real check-in right now. I want to do a real check-in. And here's my question to you. Are you building or are you just dreaming? Here's how you know if you're just dreaming. Here's the language for the just dreaming in life. Here's the language. I really, really, really want to launch a business one day. I really do. I really want to, but I'm not sure if I can. I don't know how to start. I don't know where to start. That's dreaming. Here is language when you're building. I have 3 followers. I'm going to connect with them every single day to see how I can help. And when I connect with them every day to see how I can help, I'm going to help them with the thing where I am right now, not knowing everything, but I know I can help them with some things. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. That's how you know you're building. Here's the language when you know you're building. I'm going to post 2 videos on YouTube every week. It doesn't matter if I only have 300 and something followers. I'm going to speak to the 300 and something followers that I have because they need me. Why would I be lamenting over not having 1 million followers when there are 300 followers right in front of my face who are literally connecting to my content every week? That's how you know you are building. What have you done in the last 30 days that actually answers the call of your destiny? That's your check-in. Are you building or are you dreaming? Things that you are doing continuously, tasks that you are completing continuously, goals that you are achieving continuously means that you answered the call. If you're not moving toward that destiny, if you're not moving in the things that the destiny calls for, you're really just dreaming. So check in, sis. And wherever you are today, don't worry about what you didn't do yesterday. Wherever you are today, find the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Understand that all you need is a little oil to do it, and make a move on one thing that you can do to move towards your destiny. Why? Because destiny is calling, sis. Will you pick up? Why your little oil is more than enough to start. That's key point number 4. My last key point, number 4. Key point number 1 is why your comfort zone is costing you your calling, your destiny calling. How to stop. Key point number 2 is how to stop ignoring it. Key point number 3 is get a check-in going. Check in to see where you are and what you need to be doing right now. And then number 4, my key point is this. I want you to understand why your little oil is more than enough to start. Lord, I thank you. Remember in the intro when I talked about the woman in 2 Kings who had only a little oil? Remember when I talked about her? She had 1 jar of oil, and it was just a little bit. But notice what the scripture said. The scripture said that the prophet Elisha told her to go ahead and take these pots that you borrowed, these jars that you borrowed, and he said, fill them all up. How do you fill up several jars of oil with 1 jar of oil with a little bit in it? Because little is much when God is in it. What she did right was somehow see that even though I just have a little, I'm going to use a little that I have and I'm going to make a move. You don't need a huge platform. You don't need a huge budget. You don't need 1,000 followers. You just need to make a move on the little that you have. See, in the scripture, watch this. She had the little oil that she started with, and then she had all these pots, right? When she poured the little that she had into jar 1, wrap your head around this. That jar of oil was used. Where the rest of the oil come from? Where the rest of the oil come from? How was she able to continue to fill up all the other jars because God supernaturally began to capitalize on her oil. But the second oil jar didn't get full until she used the oil that she had. And when she used the oil that she had, more oil kept multiplying, and that's how the other jars got filled. What am I saying to you? You don't need 1,000 followers. You don't need a big budget. You don't need a huge following. You don't need a big platform. You don't need anything but what you have in your hand right now. What does that mean, Angela? What are you talking about, Angela? What does that look like for me? You might have just the chapter of a book. Just one chapter. A title and a chapter. Do you not know you can make millions of dollars before the book is even published? I can show you how to do that. You might only have one part of the recipe figured out. Like the sweet potato pie, your crust might be nasty, but that filling though, that filling is so amazing. Everybody wants your pie. The people at the church, at the picnic, the people at work, everybody want to know who bringing the pie at the family reunion. They want your pie because your pie is a pie like they've never tasted before. They're literally willing to forgive the nasty crust because of that filling though. Be the filling. Be the filling. You don't have to have the whole pie figured out. You could capitalize on that filling though, because guess what? Somebody else might have that crust figured out. And now you're in a collaboration partnership. You got the filling, they got the crust. Bada boom, bada bang, you're making $1 million. Because Mrs. Smith found out about your pie and they want to buy it from you for $1 billion. I'm just saying. Use what you have. Your knowledge, your story, your experience, your oil. Your knowledge, your story, your experience equals your oil. Your knowledge, your story, your experience equals your oil. Your knowledge, your story, your experience equals your oil. And that is what I'm going to help you do. In my upcoming Little Oil Challenge, I challenge you to take just what you have and turn that into legacy wealth by creating an offer. It's real simple. And my challenge is coming up. And I want you to see this. I want you to see this in 5 days. I'm going to teach you how to take just your recipe, just your chapter of the book, just your 5 followers. And I'm going to teach you how to turn that into an offer that somebody needs. And then we're going to get your first sale or your first 5 sales or your next 5 sales in those 5 days or shortly after. Why? Because what I understand for sure is that you have something valuable in your little oil, and there is somebody out there that needs what you have to offer. And all you have to do is make the connection. And that's called a sale. That's called a sale. And we're going to do it. And we're going to do it in 5 days. If this message today lit something up in you, don't sit on it. You're going to need to join the challenge. So here's what I want to share with you. Here's what I want to share with you. Oh, God, I thank you. The Little Oil Challenge is really all about taking wherever you are, and we are going to take 5 days. And in those 5 days, we are going to think like a 6-figure creator. That's the first step, because if you can't do that, then we gotta get that fixed. So day 1 is all about thinking like a 6-figure creator. And then day 2 is all about creating your offer. We got to create the offer. You are a creator. I'm going to show you how you are a creator. Day 3, we are literally going to build out the offer. What does it look like? What are people going to get from you? Day 4, we're going to act. We're going to put all this in action. We're going to launch. And then day 5, we're going to capture. We're going to start capturing leads and capturing sales. We're going to do it in 5 days. Is it possible? Yes. Because I've done it. And I've shared and I've showed women how to do it. It's not about can I, it's how can you? And in the challenge, that is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to take you step by step in 5 days on how to take just what you have, and we're going to build out for you a simple revenue plan. It's just a plan. You don't lack expertise. You don't lack knowledge. You don't even lack. Can I say that? Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. You don't even lack a boss. There's a boss in you. I don't have a business, Angela. I've never launched a business before. The boss is in you. The boss lady is already in there, or you would have never clicked on this video in the first place. There is something in there. And your destiny is calling. All you got to do is pick up. So I'm going to teach you in 5 days how to build a step-by-step revenue plan, how to launch that revenue plan so you could get your first 5 customers. It's all about the little oil. This right here is my little oil jar. I created it for boss ladies just like you. Let me show you how it works. Let me show you how it works. And you can get the little oil jar because this it'll bless you. It will bless you. So when you purchase a little oil jar, you'll get in this little satchel. You'll get everything you need to build out your business, your creator business. Why jar? Because it's like a vision map. It'll help you stay motivated and inspired and track your progress. And so when you take the step and you answer the call to your destiny, what's going to happen is you are going to take 4 oil drops. This is your jar and this is your oil drops. And you're going to take 4 oil drops, and these 4 oil drops is the basis on how you are going to build your creator business. And this the foundation. It's your core. It's your creator core is what I call it. So here's what it looks like. The first thing you have to do is ask yourself, who do I help? Then, what do I help them do? Then, how do I help them do it? And the most important question is, why should they do it with me? You see how your jar been filled? Just like the woman in 2 Kings 4. This is how you start filling your oil jar. This is what we're going to cover in the 5-day challenge. Once you substantiate and build and once you create this foundation, you'll be able to build on this. It's a core. It's a solid foundation. And then in the 5 days, I'm going to show you how to get, you see this gold star? This is your first customer. So once you get your foundation built and we build out your offer, then we're going to connect with the people who are already looking for what you have to offer. People look for solutions every single day. What makes you think they won't buy it from you? Yeah, we're gonna dispel that myth in the 5-day challenge. Here is your first customer you're gonna get within those 5 days, or very close after those 5 days. And you're gonna take your first customer. Why she go? Because she's your first one. And you're going to put your first customer in your jar. Put your first customer in your jar, right? Put your first customer in your jar. Then this is how it works. Once your first customer gets into your jar, let's move this down. Let me just move it on down. Move on down the road. Okay, now your first customer is in your jar. Then you're gonna get customer 2. Jar filling up. Customer 3. Jar filling up. Customer 4. Jar filling up. Customer 5. And we learn how to do this inside of the Little Oil Challenge. I'm challenging you to put your offer to work. And I'm challenging you to go after the first 5 people who need your offer. And why is this, Angela, turning into legacy wealth? Here's why. Because I believe in the power of multiplication. When I taught 5th grade math, social studies and science, I literally led the school year with the power of 10. I led with the exponentially, how to exponentially make a number bigger. So now you have 5 customers. That's your goal in the challenge. Get your first 5. When you get your first 5, that first 5, because you look at that and you say, okay, how do I get those 5? And what do I do now? And what worked and what didn't work? And how do I rinse and repeat what did work? Now your 5 becomes 10. Why is it important, Angela? Because the power of exponents means that 10 customers become 100, and 100 customers become 1,000, and 1,000 customers become 10,000, and 10,000 customers become 100,000. You see where I'm going with this? And it all started with just a little oil. Your jar was empty. Your jar was empty. The lady in 2 Kings 4, her jar was empty. In the 5-day challenge, we're going to fill it up. Point blank, period. I will add the link on how to get the little old jar. I will add it in the description. It's a great motivator. It's a great way to keep yourself on track. Put it on your refrigerator or put it on the stand that you'll get inside of your little old jar kit. But it's a great way to stay motivated. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to see. Let me just show you what this looks like. Oh, God, I thank you. It's real. The little all challenge is real, and I'll show you. Inside of my Cura circle is where the little all challenge is happening. And once you join the challenge, you will be living in this space. Now, all my friends out there who are already part of the Cura circle, you have access to the challenge. This is not anything you have to pay for. So members have access to the challenge. And I know my members are thinking, do I need to do this? Why not? It'll take you 5 days and you'll get your first 5 customers or your next 5 customers so that you can start exponentially increasing your revenue. All right. So in those 5 days, you are going to learn. Let me just lock this page. So it won't move. All right. So in this challenge, when you join the challenge, you're going to have access to this space. See on the left where it says the challenge. Here is your welcome to the challenge. Then you have your challenge map and schedule. This is what I was telling you about. On your schedule, by the end of the challenge, you're going to walk away with clarity on your profitable idea and who you serve. You're going to walk away a simple packaged offer that's ready to sell. You're going to walk away with a fully assembled creator chest. That's your tool stack on how you're going to, on the tools that you need to make this work and how you're going to make it work. A confident plan to attract your first or next 5 customers. A repeatable revenue plan you can use again and again. This is rinse and repeatable, sis. A clear platform strategy to educate, engage, and convert, and a momentum that multiplies, right? So the map of the challenge is this. We learn, we earn, and we yearn. We learn, I'll teach you the fundamentals on how to pour. We earn, we'll launch and get your first 5 or your next 5. And then we'll yearn for more. We'll yearn for more because we're taking that 5, turning it into 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. You say where I'm going with this. And here's what we're going to do all together. In this space, you also have all of your challenge content. And then there's a section called Solution and Success. That is where you can get all of your questions answered along the way and even after the challenge is over, and where you can celebrate the successes that you get along the way. I'm telling you, you can do this. I know you can. I am sure of it. I am sure of it. So here's what we're going to do next. Let me unlock this screen. Let me unlock this screen. All right. So I want to know, did I light something in you? Did I charge something in you? Jamila says this. She says, your oil has value. join the challenge. And she's so right. I would go so far as to say, Jamila, and I know you're going to understand this, Jamila is the budget boss. This boss lady has not only experience from banking in the corporate world, she has a heart for women that they don't suffer financially. And I want you to check out what she has to offer. If you're on this live, or even if you're on the replay, Jamila, put your link in the comments so any woman who is ready to get back on track financially can access what you have to offer. Because here's what I know for sure. Once you join the challenge, in those 5 days or soon thereafter, when you start making real money, you're going to need a Jamila in your life. Because I would suspect that the reason why there's a deficit in your life in the first place is not only because you didn't have a business to build legacy wealth. How about it's because you didn't even know what to do with your money in the first place? Because you had money. I've been working since I was 18 years old. I should be a millionaire just on the money that I made. And I'm 52 now. I should be a millionaire just on the money that I made, but I didn't know. I didn't know how to budget. I didn't know how to make money. I knew how to live in the best zip codes that I could afford. I knew how to drive the best car that was in my career budget. That's not what I should have been working on. Because it didn't matter if I was in the best zip code or driving the best car. What mattered was building legacy wealth along the way. But I got you. In the 5-day challenge, you're going to learn how to make money using what you know. But you need a Jamila in your life so you can figure out how to budget that new money that's coming in your life. Just saying. Just saying. I know you can do this. Your oil has value. The link is in the description for you to join the challenge. And in 5 days, it's going to change your life forever. In 5 days, it is going to change your life forever. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am so super excited that you joined me today. If you are on the live, thank you so much for being here. If you are on the replay, you can listen to this over and over and over again and figure out how to answer your call when destiny is calling. And here are the things that I want to recap just so you know that this is going to be your takeaway. This is going to be your takeaway today. Number one, your comfort zone is costing you your calling. Get out of it. Get out of there. You can stop ignoring the call when you start attaching yourself and connecting to the hard things that you don't even think you can do yet. You got to check in with yourself and keep asking yourself today, based on my behavior, based on my actions, am I dreaming or am I building? If you're building, keep going. If you're dreaming, get to work. And then lastly, your little oil is more than enough to start. And how do you start? Where do you start? You start in the Little Oil Challenge. The link is in the description. The only other thing that I have left to say to you is this, sis. You have a little oil. Put it to use to build your legacy wealth. And how? Because little is much when God is in it. I will see you next week for the Little Oil Podcast. Bye for now.